often.
Is it We Fit Trainer?
Oh my God! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., We Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., We Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at?
Hi.
Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about like 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place? That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
1st place? That's very doable.
1st place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never play Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's going to hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow, I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazuya.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
You know, it could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well, you know.
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my God, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome to ECAC Top Plays of the Week. This is Rod, your favorite host, back at it again with more stellar plays from collegiate esports. Special thanks to our partners at Esports U for the additional coverage. Let's hop straight into it. Starting off this week at number 8, we have Torchy showing aerial dominance. They show that you're going to have to work a little bit harder if you want to get back on their stage.
Tiny bit here. Now you got to mix up your timings getting back onto the stage. Torchy is looking for something. Able to still find the jab. And the foil is going to be.
Next up, we have Cadmus, showing us what impact on a support player really looks like. With the timing of a Lucio God, they come in to claim the play of the game.
Player just going to deny anyone an attempt to hit the objective, and I mean, at this point in time, you gotta expect those rollouts to be as quick as they are.
Moving on to Rocket League, we have Swax, showing why they own the airspace with a nice self-follow-up, netting WSC the goal.
As we are going to try to find out that little nugget of information, Swax is going to drop this one down and give us a tie game here in game number 2. Gets that nice little touch over the defender, Peter.
As an Astra main myself, nothing brings me more joy than watching Zeno hold it down on the C site with a nice 4K to secure the second round of the half.
Fine, there's a 50-50 angle. They're checking a beautiful spray down onto 3. Players come in for the rotate from the rest of the map control, and a beautifully played round by FSE, capped off by a nice old.
Now at the number 4 spot, we see that luck is a skill when Post gets 2 back-to-back kickoff goals. All it took was 6 seconds to go from a deficit to the lead. That is comeback potential.
Other ways.
I don't... What? Okay, so Warda actually messed up their kickoff. They 100% did not mean to land like that. And then
Welcome everyone here tonight to a bit of ECAC Valorant action. This is week 7 out of 8 weeks. Very important games coming up. I am Camel. Joined alongside me is Shakir. Saginaw Valley going up against RPI Red. RPI clinching a playoff berth, already sitting at 4-2. But for SVSU, a very important game coming up, sitting at 3-3.
Yeah, and they need to go at least even, break that 500 barrier to make it to playoffs. So within the next 2 weeks, we need to see at least a win out of them. RPI being ranked a little bit higher, this would be a big win for SVSU. I think if they can clinch it here, should feel good about a postseason opportunity.
Absolutely. We can take a look at the maps here where these two teams will be battling it out here. And to look at the bans, look at the picks, anything that stands out to you, Shakir. We're not going to be able to see Pearl, not going to be able to see Breeze, Fracture, or Haven. I'm always up for some Fracture. I think Fracture is the one that I'm always looking forward to, but not here. We have Icebox, Ascent, and Bind for a decider.
Yeah, pretty vanilla maps all the way around, I think, and maps that have been in the system for a long time. So no Pearl, no Breeze. Those are probably the two most inventive in terms of being new. But Icebox, pretty box standard. Ascent as well. And then I think Bind is as vanilla as it gets. So it's going to come down to a lot of teamwork and communication and working together as a team. So I think in a sense, this might be the best way to kind of see what the teams have to offer, but less creativity in terms of how you would approach the map than in Pearl. So pros and cons, but I like the map pool. It'll be a nice head-to-head brawl between the two teams.
Most definitely. And I believe both teams are ready to go, so we should be getting into Agent Select momentarily. But it will be RPI starting on attack for this Icebox here. You know, we've seen the Sage come out, before. I've seen some interesting compositions, the double Sentinel potentially. I think it really just depends on, the type of players you have. I mean, Collegiate is so versatile, so volatile. There's so many different players that play so many different things. And if you have people that can flex multiple agents, it really benefits you in these best of threes where it's all about just adaptation and reading your opponent.
Yeah, and especially too in a collegiate level, right? This isn't tier 1 Valorant, so you're not necessarily playing to what's the best in the meta. You're going to be playing your comfort or you're going to be playing your opponent, which is what makes a lot of these compositions so exciting, in my opinion. You can get really creative in terms of what you pick, and just because something isn't the best in the current meta doesn't mean it's an unacceptable pick here, because you're not necessarily sure of the competition you're going up against as well. But some of these picks coming in place already on the RPI side. Chamber locked in, no surprise. The KO is hovered, the Sova is hovered. Sage picked as well, and the controller pick being the Viper, which I think is really powerful on this map. They're starting on the attack, so get aggressive first and then go to defense later. And Viper on the other side as well, no surprise.
Yep, and we will see the Chambers of the world, Diggy already locking that one in. Just seems like kind of a necessity at this point. The character, the agent is so broken. And you just kind of have to pick them, and you need someone on your team that's going to be able to play them. So for RPI, that will be Diggy, and it looks like Slade is at least considering the idea. Would like to see if that raise does get locked in. Like you mentioned, it's all about the comfort picks. So we'll see what SVSU want to do. Only a little bit of time left, so it looks like these will be the lock-in Sova, Chamber, and Raise to end things off for SVSU, and for RPI, KO for Mandingo.
Yeah, the KO coming in, I think, in place of a duelist. So no duelist on the RPI side. Starting on the attacking end, I guess they're gonna have to rely a lot on that Chamber. But the KO kind of acts as a direct counter to the Chamber as well on the opposite end. So maybe that's the strategy they've gone for with Mandingo as we get into game. Yeah, no duelist will be tough, but I think if they can convert the rounds here on the attacking side, should feel very comfortable going into defense. And on the other side, you only have a Raze to work with as well, who I think is a very versatile duelist, but maybe not necessarily as space-taking as like a Jet, for instance, but still definitely a duelist by trade, obviously.
Most definitely, but no duels comp. You're going to put a lot of pressure on your Chamber, on really the rest of the team to get things going. Want to see how aggressive both these Chambers want to play this map out. Icebox, a lot of different cheeky angles you can use to your advantage as both teams will get underway for game one, potential best of 3 series between Saginaw Valley and RPI. Already looking at the defensive scheme we're seeing, just kind of feeling out where everyone's going to play, assuming that Chamber is going to be tripping Kitchen as soon as possible when the funds do come in, but seems like a pretty default position. Actually reading this A hit.
Wow, yeah, stacked over here on this left side, kind of waiting for the pressure. Nobody at B, and I think guessed right here, so here's the execute.
It's going to start off pretty quickly. Slade already. The wall doing a great job at concealing this plant, the spray.
Spike planted.
Not going to do much of anything, and already a very quick plant for RPI, and they're going to gain full autonomy of aim. You see already the Viper leaning back over, watching the flank. It's going to be a brawl over towards that side of the map. Auntie J going to pick up one. It's a good trade for Ashton as now the flood back in towards the site. Still, though, RPI with decent control, low health bars on a couple of members here, Ashton in particular, and RPI winning out the battle, multiple angles being pinched, and right now doing a great job at limiting SDSU pushing back in. And it will be a 3v2.
And the closing seconds here, this round pretty much guaranteed to RPI. Slade does make it a 1v1, makes it interesting. Low health, can Moses get there in time is the question, but he's one tap, doesn't have the sight, but I think the time has gone through, and there's the eventual kill. And a first round for RPI, can't make it out of the bubble, but that is all right. On the board early, despite the fact that SVU had gamble stacked correctly there, just rushed onto site so fast. And SVU was incredibly passive there. But, you know, all things considered, you took 5 lives on either end. We'll see some investment come in on the SVU side. And, of course, a force coming in from the RPI end.
Yep, great stuff.
And now a gamble stack to B as well. Whoa.
Wow, I mean, this is just such a hard read. That's 2 times in a row. Yeah, I mean, they're going to win this one out. They already know exactly where they are. They're going to get a lot of info. This might allow a free pick, but they're aware of it. Spec drops. And now the defense crumbling, but a good trade, actually. The utility from Jesus can be able to pick up FSDD and tie things up 4-4. This might be a rotation from RPI to get back over towards mid.
Yeah, going straight into it almost neutralizes the weapons advantage they had with that utility as well. And there's the battle in mid.
Wow.
Ashton comes out ahead. SVSU doing well on this second round. No sight decided yet for RPI.
They're in a really awkward position, but Mandingo, good for 1. 20 meters away, takes that kill. Auntie J responding as well for RPI, salvaging what has been a pretty terrific early save for SVSU, all things considered, getting those 2 kills. A site will be clear, RPI will get the plant, but the investment from SVSU, nothing. So they came into this round not expecting much, and getting these 2 kills, that'll be good enough for them.
I think you call it a win there on a round 2, a little bit of a light investment there. You're just looking to kind of stunt that bonus that'll come there in the 3rd round, and I'd say consider it done. You get 1 more out of here. You know, you've got the Marshall that you can carry over if you want to. You take 1 more life out the board, then it's definitely a win, but you take these.
Probably just going to play for exit frag. Slade, though, getting a little frisky. Actually is able to reorient himself, find Moses, and this could be a very difficult round for RPI to win cleanly. Slade pushing forward along with Stitch. It's a 1v2. Auntie J grabs that kill into Slade, and now a 2v1. The 3K for Auntie J. And it was a little bit scary, a little bit sketchy, but RPI come out on top 2-0.
And they close it out. Not the cleanest, but hey, a win's a win. I think you take those, probably look back at that and say, you know, on a force buy, you probably could have run cleaner, but there was an investment on the SV side as well. But now we get to see the full buys from the SVSU side, Phantoms, Vandals, and then a bonus for RPI. Classics on FSD and Diggy who went down. Looks like they'll upgrade to Sheriffs. So, you know, not the greatest investment because obviously they're saving for that 4th round, but they'll get a bonus here. And ultimately, the game's kind of progressing exactly how it should progress.
Spec taking his time in mid. Has this blinding light to play with. He'll back away. And already, the defense here of SVSU, they've been able to read a lot of these plays, and this flash might get some high value. Spec with the pop flash, spotted 1 for a brief moment, now in an altercation. And they'll be forced to to back away. Early engagements for both sides, but nobody exchanging any kills, but A seems to be the target for RPI.
That's where the spike is right now, but this default has them very deep on B long as well. So Ashton not going to be there when this hit comes out, and it looks like that spike's rotating out as well. That dart's just going to miss the Sova, so they're going to go to B, but there's 2 waiting here on site. The Sky is ready to rotate as well. The numbers are here for SVSU, and they have the better buy. Things are actually looking quite decent once this execute comes out.
30 seconds
They're gonna have
left.
shock darts as well to play with this. Ashton just does not have to peek. Now he spots a handful of players, so the jig is up. The defense knows wall will go down. FSDD should get this plant off relatively free. A bit of chip damage there, but those shock darts being vaulted in. Nothing too crazy. Now actually look at RPI, a very interesting play here. The Viper wrapping around completely looking for a flank play, and I don't think SVU are going to anticipate this.
Yeah, this is going to be great for them. No one down yet either. 5-on-5 here on the retake. That's the first contact. The defuse is coming in, but still weapons utility. Here's the flank from the Viper. And only good for 1, but has distracted enough.
1v1, the timing is there for Ashton. And he salvages the round, reclaims control for SVSU. Pick up their first. Granted, 4 do die, but a dub is a dub.
I guess it just depends on where you put the value. You get a point on the scoreboard there, but you lost 4 in the process. And
yeah.
I gotta say, I think RPI is gonna feel very confident out of that one. Still getting the 4 frags, 4 weapons taken away. That won't be able to be used here on a full buy in round 5. Excuse me, round 4. Meanwhile, they will get the upgrades because it was their bonus round. I think economically, when you look at this game in the macro sense, in the bigger picture, that's a round win for RPI there. Score says 1-2, but RPI feel very confident right now.
We see now RPI love going for that quick plant. I want to see if they continue with those aggressive flanks as well that we saw in that previous round. Diggy is going to be able to get some long-range logistics, find Spec Skull, and take down the Sky. And along with Viper Spit being used to go for this plant, but a good Hunter's Fury to counter and grab a kill as well. Ashton getting creative here with the Hunter's Fury, blocking out the push and leaving RPI puzzled on where to go next.
Ashton again, somewhat of a hero, slows them down. At least the spike can finally go down, but they've lost 2 in the process. They can't even go down here on TJ, forced out yet again.
Oh, the spray just comes in. An RPI clean house. And now, worry about, is it going to be a save angle? Dart won't find too much value. You have the Tour de Force available for Slade. Slowly meandering his way back into the site. Diggy playing off the Viper's Pit, just waiting for the contact. And RPI playing this extremely intelligently, not going for any peaks. They don't want any kill to string together. Ashton just playing right on the corner. Does Moses expect it? Now he does. It's a 3K for the Sova. Playing in and out. Auntie J grabs one. Diggy grabs the other. And RPI holds strong to grab their third.
Yeah, Diggy's so lucky with 3 HP to stay alive there. But that round, entirely on the back of Moses. The double kill after the Viper's Pit had gone down. After it looked like RPI was up against the wall to secure it. Around that they should have secured, and they rightfully do. But that Hunter's Fury from Ashton really put RPI up against the ropes. I like that usage there. Just to deny the plant, and they denied it twice, to their credit. But unfortunately, once that spike went down, after the 2 kills from Moses, looking at a 2v3 going in a Viper's Pit, that's a tough one to cross, no matter where you are.
A lot of resources invested, Shakir, so for this defensive line of SVSU, gonna have to be more creative in dealing with this pressure. RPI early owl drone will force Spec off of yellow, and this is already a ton of control. RPI gaining space, and that kill over towards A is gonna make things even more difficult. Jesus needs to win that 1v1, can't do it, and Diggy just farming these kills on A.
That's the site wide open. They can come to A if they want to. The rotate's coming in. Diggy is so deep, aware of where this Viper's about to go on the stairs up into Raptors as well, and that's a third for the Chamber. This round is all but wrapped up now. 3 plants as that wall goes up, and nothing that SVSU can do but run and survive.
Wouldn't be surprised, though, if RPI go for these kills. I'm pretty sure the economy
would
is
hope
good
so.
enough to do it. Yeah, I would hope so. See some content.
Some action up in here.
Yeah, for real. I mean, what are we doing, guys? Are we really going to play this one slow? There's 30 seconds. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just RPI playing off of the team's strengths. Diggy was able to find 2 kills. You see now RPI collectively, the engineers lurking around for these kills, and it looks like they're going to go over towards Snowman. Yeah, this is going to get a little dicey here. The double peek, they have the flash already. Off the blind, 1-2 easy pickings there for Ashton. Great assist there by Spec to set it up. It will diminish the guns a little bit, but the round still goes the way of one. Auntie J will fall. So yeah, just having a bit of fun. Don't think any more casualties will ensue. Yeah, 4-1 in favor of the engineers. Great stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Of the engineers, the RPI mascot there, they have been meticulous. They are living up to their name, Camel. I mean, yeah, just absolutely taking over. And in that last round in particular, we mentioned that they didn't have a duelist. A lot of the heavy lifting in terms of creating space is going to be on Diggy. And Diggy is living right up to that handle. I mean, the 3 players on their team with 6 kills just kind of shows you how much they're all taking initiative. But in that round, it goes to Diggy for sure.
Play.
Yeah, you need to. When you don't have that duelist, you don't have that go button, if you will, with that jet dash or that neon wall. So RPI doing well so far as a collective unit, but they're going to have to keep that up as now Spec puts a wrench in the plans, takes down Auntie J, and here comes the push going in as Jesus. He'll be able to get one before being taken down by Mandingo, who trades it out. And again, though, RPI, they have control of the site. Not at disadvantage. Never mind. Diggy erases that, grabs that kill on the slate, a 3v3. Okay, that'll happen. That'll happen to you. So it's a 2v3 now. And hey, sometimes just got to shoot. Sometimes it works.
Always love that initiator carry. Excuse me, Ashton is having, like the scoreline, a fantastic game, but here's the re-execute to take back a little bit of control. Backside's there. The crosshair was waiting, but Spec wins out the duel against Moses. It's just Mandingo. Nobody spotted him. A chance for 3. Denies the spike. Headshot on the next. It's a 1v1 here. Onus on the sky to make the play. There's the Seeker to distract. Spec swings out, but it's a 4K for the KO.
Mandingo. We need a replay of that. The trigger discipline on this young man. Oh my heavens. I mean, Shakir. The audacity. He waits for Spec to move through the Viper wall. Takes his time. Oh my word. Break it down. Help me out. What happened? Just better? Built different?
Yeah, so boom, 1, 2. There's that spray control on the third, and now this one is so patient, knowing that they're not the one that has to make the move. Just get enough room out to kill the Seeker, and Spec a little too slow on that wide swing onto Mandingo. That is awareness, 100%. Really well done. And if you didn't check that corner, if you're Spec, you are very mad at yourself that you let yourself essentially lose that duel twice. But they won't do it again, or they will do it again. Spec punished, and here comes Slade from the backside, evening things up.
But again, look how quickly RPI already on the point. They have Diggy hawking over. Yup, there's the flick, the kill. FSDD takes down the Rays, and now it's a lone Ashton against the world. He's had some miracle plays before. He's going to have to do it again, but not going to happen. 50 meters away, FSDD comes up and claims that kill, reclaims control for RPI, and it's just been a tornado of aggression. Each member of this team, like we've been saying, it's a balanced effort, Shakir, and that's the reason it's 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the kill margin, right? 5 kills, Diggy has 9, FSD has 4, and they're playing the Sage, not necessarily a battle Sage when you have a Chamber on your team. I think that's a pretty decent distribution. You go over to the SVSU side, it's a kill margin of 12. Ashton leading the way, and Stitch yet to get on the scoreboard, which is tough sometimes as a controller player, but just goes to show you that RPI is really distributing the pressure here, and there's not a lot of opportunity going on the SVSU side at the moment.
Will burn Viper's Pit to act as an obstacle for this RPI attack. But again, it's these ones that RPI are winning. Auntie J grabs Ashton. That's been the hot hand for this SVSU roster. And now the kills are flooding in, and everything is going RPI's way until then Jesus grabs Auntie J for a good claim of a kill. Now 4v3.
The spike goes 1, 6-1 the score, and there's 4 alive here on the post plant for RPI here as they'll back away. It's an open plant, so they can play off sites. And that's exactly where 3 of them are. Just Diggy holding the aggressive angle, watching that Raptors, looking for Slade to overswing, overcommit here. Stitch gets the first. They're on the scoreboard, but Diggy responds to Jesus. There's a headshot on Slade, and the op is gone. Opportunity here to score.
Play this one patiently. Mandingo in the same spot as that earlier clutch. He'll take the peek. He'll find the first kill. And again, plays it slow. The Hunter's Fury in conjunction with the Molly. And Mandingo stays his ground, steadfast in claiming that kill on the Stitch. And now, with the Operator claimed as well, everything is going RPI's way. The economy, the kills, the communication. It really just feels like they're on the same page. And they're playing off the rotation so well. Instantly going to A when they know they have an advantage. And 7-1, it just keeps snowballing out of control, no pun intended, but that's how Icebox works. And this is SVSU's map pick, you know? I don't know if that matters. I mean, that's just like, it's just getting a little rough.
Well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They've got to check that spot there on the post plants from here on out. But that is demoralizing. At some point, you got to stop the play, call it timeout.
Shot goes wide, and it's just getting worse and worse, and you're already at a man disadvantage. Make it 2 as Diggy grabs the kill on the Stitch at that Operator.
Beautiful.
Disgusting shot from Slade. Gets the flick, but is it enough? Is it too little, too late? As Moses grabbed a kill, shifting around through mid. He'll get some more time up in Kitchen. And RPI, they're playing the map so incredibly well. Meticulous. The tension building. Rising at a boiling point. Moses hears all the noise in the world. He knows where this player is. And he's going to take his time.
Engineers for sure here. Meticulous. Yep, you nailed it. Mathematical. Intuitive.
Standing ahead.
Closing in on this SVSU defense that's just Ashton remaining. Wrapped up here behind these boxes. Swings out with the Marshall, gets a tag, but it will be the other Sova on Moses to finish the round. 1-8. That's a pretty terrifying scoreline, and they're doing it without a duelist. And they get to go onto the defending side here in a couple rounds. That's a tough hill to climb.
Yeah, and to look at SV and what they can do here. They're going to have the Tour de Force, they're going to have the Hunter's Fury, and they're going to have the Showstopper. So 3 different ways to get these attackers off the site, or at least off the plant when they go for it. But again, it's just so difficult because RPI, they've just been aggressive, winning the ones so early on in the round that it really doesn't matter. Here's the aggression early on, trying to get some space up here for Jesus. Going to be able to invest in paint shells. But again, Diggy grabs that kill over towards Boiler, and now that's already mid-control, given to RPI. They don't have to even take this. They can just stick around and wait for more info, and then play off that.
Yeah, exactly. Punished for trying to get that information, but you gotta do it to know where to line up this defense. And it will be A. Jesus is tucked away, but the flash from Mandingo keeps that kill at bay. And that's the spike down, Camel.
Good kill. But the res, it just gets negated. And you get the plant right back down. You have the Viper's Pit if you so choose, but you really don't have to invest it. Dark goes out. Tags. No information. Walking in blind is Slade. He'll fall first. Spec. The same fate. And now Ashton again. He's been the last alive. He's trying his damnness to be the savior for this team. The shots are not there. And FSDD finds the kill 9-1. And RPI are just running away with it. Shakir, where does SVSU turn to? What do they have to do to get some footing back into this game?
I know, nothing's working for them, right? I mean, even look at Ashton. He had 12 kills, or they had 12 kills just about 5 rounds ago, and now only at 13. They've gotten 1 kill in the last 5 rounds. Nothing is working for the SVSU side. A couple rounds ago, they did something that I really liked. It was on an eco round. They pushed up 2 towards B. They got 1 kill from it. And I think if you're going to give so much space to a team like RPI, team without a duelist, they can really benefit from him. You have to have some sort of reaction. I'd love to see some sort of push here. They pushed up heavy onto B long. If they can hold their ground, it's at least push them off the B sites. And look at Slade up in this mid as well. Auntie J looking to peek. Here's the contact, and that's 2 kills. That's exactly what I was talking about, Camel.
Yeah, and that's it. Just the aggression. Not giving as much space as before, and look at the result. You get 2 kills, and now a very winnable round for the defensive side in the Cardinals. Saginaw Valley trying to get back into this game, and that's another good start. Ashton takes down Diggy. But A should be free for RPI, and a 2v4 is winnable if they do get the right bit of contact. And SVSU play this one a little bit south. That's going to be a great dart. Giving more info over to SVSU. Really got to make sure they play this one clean. Owl Drone will spot both players. It's a pincer maneuver here. Stitch around the corner, grabs one. And it's a pincer maneuver. FSDD, he's got to work around it. He's in a 1v3. Flicks over, 5 bullets. He's going to be able to claim 3 before it's all said and done. But the Cardinals finally get back on the board after what feels like an eternity.
Yeah, they're still trying to fly here, and for FSD, that would have needed to be the ace to secure that round. And they get close, they get the 3K. There's only so much you can do. So you give the round over, it's 9-2, and if you're SVSU and you get a 3rd round here in the final round of the half, you're looking at a 9-3 curse. You know, I think at that point, you've just won the game at that point. So you know, we were talking about how dire it was for SVSU. I think now they're in a great position. They can get the curse on their side. But in all seriousness, I think RPI, they're okay giving that round up here. They've still got a full buy to come into this last round of the half.
Yeah, and they're actually going to be able to get the revive again. FSDD just needs an orb, 1 kill, so they can probably go for the B orb if they want.
5v6.
You want to play? Let's play.
It's just the resources. It's just the utility dumping of RPI. They're playing the map so exceptionally well. And now you're forcing the op already out of its location. Slade gonna have to back away all the way through to Snowman, but a good kill for Spec taking down Mandingo. Can RPI get the revive off? They should be able to.
Well, so that's your 5v6 right there, and Sage still has the res here, so it could be even a 5-on-7, but they've taken the site. Not enough to get the spike down, and the whole crew is here. And Jesus, this could be crucial for the round, but Diggy will spot out the lurk. The op wins the trade. The res goes up, so still a 4v4, and that spike will finally come back to this B site after being a little apprehensive of where to go.
Spec, slowly but surely, looking to intensify his aggression as he moves in. Moses will go for the plant. Do they expect the timing? It's on Spec's side. He moves in, grabs one, but RPJ with a good trade back. And he's still in his playground, in his wheelhouse. He's got all the control, waiting for these players to come to him. He's gonna play out of his ultimate inside the smoke orb, concealing himself so exceptionally well. But it's a trade, and it will result in finally SVSU winning multiple rounds in a row. They're gonna get their 3rd, and now the 9-3 curse. Is it alive and well? Better find out in the second half of play.
Switching sides.
They needed that win.
Most definitely.
They needed that win. And it's important that they got it here, too. Look at the score, 9-3. But come out here, switch sides. SVSU, you win the pistol. You win the force buy. 5-9 scoreline. Not nearly as daunting. So, you know, comeback's got to start somewhere. And I always say there's no reason to count out a team just after one half, because anything that your opponent can do to you, you can do back to them. So maybe we see a 9-3 out of SV right here. And we go into overtime, or maybe even they win more rounds and it's convincing. Either way, I don't think SVSU should be beating themselves up. And I think they've still got plenty of game to play here in map 1. This is their map pick, so let's see what they have in store for us on the attacking side with Agency.
That's a good start. He doesn't even look for the TP. Slade grabs the kill into FSDD, and already a 5v3 as the defenders, remaining RPI players, lingering around the site, looking for any sort of information, any sort of tiny, minute opening to grab a kill. Plant will go down. Actually, not quite. Auntie J with the lineups, he's able to grab Stitch, and this actually makes things a little bit more difficult. Yeah, because now Auntie J's got so much position here to move back in, but he gets caught. Jesus grabs it, and the spike has to go down for SVSU. They know it. They're still worried about Snowman, and a flank could come out as well from mid. But I mean, it's just so difficult for RPI to get back in. It's a 4v2. The peak is there. They now know of Moses' location. It's a fact. He's got 2 shock darts to play with. I don't think there's any angles, but the health bars are just not telling the same story here. There's just so much that RPI have to do.
And they still didn't even know that it was planted underneath instead of at default. Mandingo does get a headshot, but in a 1v3, this is very tough. The Ghost in Hand, 6 HP. A knife to work with will give him a little bit of info, deny a little bit of util, but it only spots Spec hiding safe underneath that yellow box. And now Mandingo's been spotted, so Jesus will swing in the raise. Gets a third. That's the pistol round. SVU already off on the right foot with that one.
Well, here we go. This is the start. Now, granted, Shakir, I don't want to be that guy, but if we remember...
Be that guy. Embrace
remember the first half, you know, that buy round, that second round was a little bit sketchy. So I think SVSU need to keep that in the back of their mind. They're going to have a Vandal here for Spec, so a lot of investment. Need to make sure they're playing this one smart, not throwing. Easy words to sum up how this round should be played.
You want it to be somewhat clean. Not a big investment from the RPI side. They'll have a full buy in the third. Keep this one clean, have a competitive buy in the third. Try and snowball it, but they've already forced RPI off the position. Diggy's TP'd back. That gives him a lot of room at B.
Yeah, great wall. Diggy's got no idea, and if he peeks out, he'll die. So, right now,
lovely.
The blast pack up. Jesus moving inside, grabbing 1, grabbing 2, and he's going to keep going. He's got his teammates to back him up, and it's just an absolute demolition. Good dink there from Moses, but the damage has been done. It's a 5v1 onslaught here. The Cardinals are going to fly in and take that last kill. RPI crumbled there on their save. Now they're going to have the guns. Now they're going to be able to control a bit more of that map, and let's see what they turn to.
Had to keep it clean there, and even Spec had upgraded to the Vandal already. So, this is actually a very competitive buy now to take into round 3. Typically, you would see a 2-1 situation, 2 rounds going to SVSU, 1 going to RPI. With the buy and how clean that second round was, SVSU play with that same amount of confidence. Granted, they were going up against pistols, but if they play with that same confidence and take that same amount of space, this could still be a very competitive round for them. Not a full gun-to-gun, but very winnable.
Different strategy here. Using that poison orb. The flash in.
That's info.
It's going to force Auntie J away. And they're going to have it. They're going to have that kill.
And a weapon upgrade.
Is extremely low. And yeah, but they know Dickie's position. He's going to be the linchpin. He's going to be the difference maker in this round for RPI. He hears so much noise. He doesn't find that kill, and he gets killed from the side. RPI, the defense on B is just not there, and SVSU taking full advantage. That's a good trade for FSTD, and he spots another in Spec. But again, it's the trades, it's the flanks, it's the communication. It's an unhinged SVSU team playing with a lot more confidence, but a 2v2 still for RPI. It's winnable. But now with that shot from Slade, a 1v2 planted for these 2 attackers. Moses waiting for this first player to peek.
Whoa.
It's a 1v1. 10 bullets in the chamber for Moses. Drops to 8. The tap. Waiting for this player coming from left. He'll move forward. It's a ring around the Rosie. And yeah, it's just so smart. The time is not on your side. Yeah, you got the kill, but Slade played the map correctly. And that's the round win, the bonus going the way of SVSU and Shakir. We have a game on our hands.
You can't count them out while they're down. It's a 6-9 scoreline. The Cardinals are starting to spread their wings, Camel. That was an incredible round. I mean, the mid-pop is so unorthodox. The amount of space and the way they were able to operate into that B site, it's so tough to prepare for when you're on that defense. You just don't have players in the right spot to contest those types of angles. It's hard to put yourself in that situation, especially with the buy that SV did, but they pulled off the initial pop. They got the opening frag, and that's exactly what you get for putting in that effort. This is why Icebox was their map pick.
They're leaving Diggy on an island. And right now, he hears a lot of noise, a lot of util being hurled his way. He'll reposition back over towards Snowman, but he's already being barraged with ammo. The Viper's Pit comes down, trying to confirm this for SVSU. They're going to get Mandingo. And now SVSU They know they have the better guns, and they're having the confidence right now to just keep fighting and keep going for these plays.
Remember, that spike is yet to go down. That's something that RPI has done consistently, delaying that plant at least. And they're not necessarily in a bad position. No one's gone down yet. They can still do damage. The spike finally will. And from here, SVSU are very comfortable in the Viper's kill.
I know of one player's confirmed location at least. A flank is imminent as well from Slade, who's wrapping around. Spec takes the first peek. First bit of contact. The Sky is good for one. The trade is there for Auntie J. Trying to claim a bit more money going into the next round. It's a 4v1. SDD takes that peek into the waiting arms of Jesus. 7-9. This is 6 rounds in a row for the Cardinals. And we counted them out, not gonna lie. And honestly, it's a little strange because you'd think this is the defensive-oriented composition. They do better on defense because, you know, they don't have a duelist. And Shakir in Valorant, the duelist is the one that goes in. And RPI have a bunch of defenders, a bunch of sentinels, controllers that would do well at stopping and halting these aggressive pushes. But right now, I don't know if it's just a difference in communication, if the strategy is off, but right now it's just not working, and that's why this timeout is being called.
Yeah, I mean, there is a duelist on the side of SVSU, so maybe you could say that they have a little more agency in their go button having that, but I don't know if that's necessarily been the difference. But I think a timeout here is absolutely the right call because you're only 4 rounds into the half. You still have time to recover. You haven't given up the lead yet. At that point, it's going to seem very mentally draining. So I think let's see what the engineers can come up with there at the whiteboard. You know, what kind of math symbols they can pull out of their pockets, what their protractor is telling them, you know, and how the compass feels, you know, as they put the game plan into their TI-84s. Do you have a TI-84 when you were in school, or what calculator did you use?
I was a Texas Instrument fan. I would use the TI-84.
TI guy?
I was a TI guy.
Right You'd fit in well with RPI, I think.
I think so. And maybe, just maybe, they can calculate a victory for themselves because they haven't won. And it will continue as, again, Slade finding these kills. He's got 2 for himself over towards A. And he's going to jockey for control. It doesn't even care. He says, yeah, I got my 2. I'm done. And they're going to riddle the B site with utility. And that's a little bit awkward for Spec. Takes a peek at Diggy. This operator. Good for 1. Solid shot there for Diggy. But again, does it seem too little too late? Looks like exit frags are the way to go for RPI. The control has just been on top for the Cardinals. They haven't given up anything. As soon as they get that 1 kill, they're pushing for more.
And they got a chance to go hunting there. Feels a little bit like revenge with the way that we saw the first half go as well. This is a lot of fun to watch now. Just a nice, dominant take. And that was after a timeout as well. RPI, they thought, hey, let's take a little bit of control. So this goes back to what I think I said in the first half about SVSU. I think when there's an action from the attacking side, you have to see some sort of reaction. They have to take some sort of space, make the initiative to kind of deny SVSU the ability to do what they want to do. West taking space, whether that's doubling up and playing for a trade, something has to change. They can't keep playing passive, and that's what RPI is trying to do here with Diggy, but he's been caught out and will TP out nonetheless. So B given up yet again.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's been Diggy who's actually not been able to do much in this defensive half. SVSU have done a great job at finding the chamber and forcing the TP early, because if they force the TP early, they know they have so much control, but Ashton just walks right into the headhunter. That's a great start for RPI. How can they transition this into a round win? We'll see what they can do. Already a flank. Could be a possibility, or just waiting for a rotation, but SVSU seem to at least be content, and that pick from Spec is going to really make things difficult. Oh, here we go. The shot is there. That's the spike down.
Attacker spawn.
Oh.
Too much.
I got this.
Rotate comes through. Diggy has spot them, misses the pot shots.
Left.
Think SVSU are still a little stirred here, but Slade very deep, so we'll probably catch out RPI pushing here from the back. This is only with pistols. That's the first gone. So imagine if RPI... Okay, classic versus Vandal. You don't see that every day. That's a weapons upgrade. What if they do that again with a buy round? Maybe it's not a 1v2 with SVU narrowly winning the round to tie. Maybe it goes a little differently.
I mean, the mental fortitude of the Cardinals here was 9-3. It was looking grim. It was looking bad. They were playing bad as a team, but they've been able to collect themselves. Diggy spots the both players. What can he do? Nothing. The battle is won by the Cardinals, and it's 9-9. 6 straight in the second half. Count the last 2, it's 8. Slade is a demon. He has exploded here on Icebox, 21-13-4. Diggy has cooled off. The rest of the team, RPI, have not been able to do much in terms of getting any ground. That one kill from Diggy was decent, but the guns just weren't there. They're just not really finding the timing. Hopefully, for the RPI fans here, you can see a bit more confidence, because right now it just seems like the Cardinals are just all over them.
Let's play.
21 kills on Slade. This chamber has come alive on the defensive side, and Diggy trying to respond back to that chamber with the tour de force. So that's going to help out RPI there in this defensive hold. One weapon taken off the piece, and it's your controller as well.
Ooh, look over towards B. Spec. The timing. Spec. Oh my word. Spec is behind 2 players. Spec is good for 1. He kills Mandingo. He's not going to know the second player is there, and Auntie J takes the kill. Pretty funny altercation. FSDD. Man, like a spider monkey, but he messes up the shots. He will be able to find 1, but that should have been 2. He knows that he'll be kicking himself for that. SV take the plant. It's a 2v3, but they should have lineups for this. And Slate, again, just behind enemy lines, Shakir, finding advantages for SV to play off of.
Last player standing.
Wow, and he's spotted. So it's just Ashton left here. This could be the first defensive round for RPI. Tapped it once. That'll be the Hunter's Fury. It rained down heavy when they were on the other side, but no kill coming out here. Now Ashton has to contest. Moses on the watch. And Moses with the kill. RPI go to double digits with that round secure. And FSD can feel a little bit better about missing those 2 easy shots.
The coach for RPI is like, all right, guys, we have enough content. We hit the time limit for the video. Should be enough, guys. Thank you guys for throwing those 8 rounds for us. Now we can play the game. Okay, perfect.
Maybe the 8-round streak, but
let's
not go crazy.
Stop this. You guys, it's getting a little bit antsy, get a little bit nervous here, sitting down.
They had a 7-round streak, and they did like the little alligator symbol. They were like 7 is less than 8. Oh no, they've won more rounds than us. We gotta flip it around. We gotta turn it.
And we're gonna have to see that from Diggy again. RPI have been relying on this chamber to get that first kill. And look at that already. A very aggressive push in through mid, and it's spotted. Diggy grabs Slade, who's been the saving grace for the Cardinals. And now, with the Seekers being used and Mandingo spotting a handful of players over towards this B site, it seems like that is where this push will end up. But again, spraying through the intuition by Mandingo to grab that kill, and now it's a 5v3 because of it.
Sprang right through the wall, had the nicest angle to get it right through. Ow. That's a headshot from Jesus. Okay, so FSD taken out of the picture. The Vandals can still do a lot of damage. Spike yet to go down. But they do have the space to work with. They're down a man, but a 3v4 is winnable.
This could be a rotation. You have 40 seconds. You have time. And they probably think everyone's rotated. They burned a lot of resources to get to this B site. The Seekers were invested, so they're going to play this one correctly. But do they account
30
for Diggy
seconds left.
Inside of mid? The Poison Orb will pop up.
That'll confirm it.
Yeah, and they know that there could be a player in this general area, and this is great play by the Cardinals. They're going to be able to take A for free. And they're assuming no one's on this site. They'll still do their due diligence to clear it out, but with a showstopper as well. Time is a little bit nerve-wracking here for the attack as they push back forward. The Hunter's Fury, with 10 seconds to go, they're going to have to get this down. Diggy takes out one. Auntie J swoops in, grabs another. And the plans have been foiled. Auntie J saves the round, grabs 2 kills. He is immortal on this A site, 11-9 for RPI.
Yeah, a little bit nerve-wracking there. The time was ticking down as that spike was touched, and Moses smartly playing off of their Hunter's Fury. It was a little bit stressful watching them not take any space despite having the man advantage there on the defense side, right? A was completely left open, but it was the awareness that Moses had that Hunter's Fury to work with, had that spike got planted towards the A side. That allowed them to leave the stack at B. If the B execute came in, they could still guarantee a stop on that B site on SVSU. So RPI move up to 11, playing their resources very smartly. Now Diggy to contest this mid. The pop worked so well for them a couple rounds ago.
Oh, man. This is going to be timing. And they saw him. Oh, that is so brutal for Diggy. And the push. The bulldoze coming in for the Cardinals. Good 2 kills there for Mandingo and FSDD. Now, the repeat there for Mandingo. The contact is good. And the ultimate man will be issued, but towards the side is Slade, who grabs the kill. The ultimate is wasted. And a bit of timing costs RPI that round, but the aggression comes right back in for Spec. 15 assists on the Sky. Clearly is the facilitator for a lot of these offensive plays, Shakir.
Yeah, nobody else in the entire contest is even at double digits. Look at FSD has 8. That's nearly half. So these flashes, you know, and you look at the flash on the other side, right? Mandingo only has 3 assists. So that has been where the impact is coming from Spec. Not lighting it up on the scoreboard like Slade or like Ashton, but their impact is still being felt regardless. And now we've got a game on our hands. A little bit of back and forth. 10-11. The streaks are broken. Now it's gloves off for the final couple rounds to secure the first map.
Diggy, different position every single round. He's making SVSU guess where he's going to be. Shot goes astray, but the damage has been done. The Viper's Pit will be issued. Jesus, sky high, escalating up, looking for that kill with the showstopper. Can't find it. 5 HP on Mandingo. He's got to be careful. But this Viper's Pit should confirm the plant and a few more kills for SV just to add on to the pressure building towards RPI.
They haven't planted yet. It's just waiting. Now it will be secured, and that's Auntie J as well, who's been a nuisance in terms of delaying those spike plants. 3v4 advantage on SVSU in terms of numbers.
Diggy, assuming there's a player top site, the timing not there. He plunges in, looking for this fight, looking for the kills, but he can't do it. Stitch is able to hold the zone, and RPI crumbling at the seams. A 4v1. Moses the last alive. He's got no utility to play with. And he'll wander into the Viper's Pit aimlessly. Nothing he can do. The 3K for Stitch. And yeah, I mean, it's a Charmin Ultra Soft retake. There's not really much you can do, Shakir. And right now, it's 11-11. RPI had those 2 rounds that went their way, but the adaptation from the Cardinals, they're right back in it, tied up. And this is gonna be a good round. I mean, not this round because RPI are broke, but the next round is gonna be good. I know that for a fact.
Well, the next round is gonna be the game decider.
Yes.
Right? Is it overtime or is it that? Did you say Charmin Ultra Soft retake?
I did. It was a soft retake.
That's good. I like that.
Thank
I'm
you.
a fan of that for sure.
Thank you.
Extra comfort.
Yeah.
And it was very comfortable for SVSU. Yeah. This is space taken. I like this from Auntie J. And the judge in hand. That is very cheeky. He has been the go-to for RPI, and now they're going to have to work through the Viper's Pit if they want the luxury of space. And look over at the A side, the forward angle from the Sova. This is a lot of info being given. Just off that Viper's Pit.
And Moses has the Guardian. He's got the lone gun. Oh, but look at that. SVSU, they're taking their time. They don't just instantly peek out. They know a player could be close. Because of all the pressure they were putting on towards B, they take into account that maybe a player pushes up, and they're correct. And now they're going to take the site for free. Every kill going their way, running and gunning. Who gives a damn? RPI in a 5v1. They were meant to lose this round, and as soon as they figured out where Auntie J was, as soon as they realized, oh, that's a judge, that's a Viper's Pit, let's not push through that. It's okay, and I mean, Auntie J, there's not really much you can do.
a really inventive defensive strategy from RPI there, but he just didn't have the tools to make it work. I mean, you can throw as many triangles in a building as you want, but the steel is always going to be stronger than the sand or the clay. I don't know. I ran out of a material there at the end, but the idea is that RPI, really smart strategy. I like the game plan that they brought to the table, but just going up against the Vandals and the Phantoms and the utility that SVSU had to work with, there wasn't a lot they could have done. At least it's not a flawless, a little bit of impact, but now it's a full buy and a must-win for RPI, either to force overtime or SVSU can pull off that 9-3 curse of a comeback and secure their own map point here, or their own map win, excuse me. And Slade is bringing out the T side op. Okay, the attacking side op.
I mean, it makes sense because I think they're assuming that Diggy's going to bring it out. Or maybe they're assuming that a player's
He doesn't have one.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in and around mid for a majority of this defensive side. So Slade maybe just likes the op better in this scenario. Look at this, the respect.
One shot,
for SV.
one kill, right?
I mean, they're playing so far back. I mean, they're just taking their time here. They understand the tension in this game. They understand how important this round is to win. So they're going to make sure they have full control of a site before they take anything. And now look at this, a default taking A, and there's only one player on this site.
Wow.
And that's a great kill on towards Mandingo.
And what's the reaction from the defense, right? I think they've kind of picked up on the fact that it's going to be an A hit. There's only one here for now. If they're fast enough, they can take advantage, secure the site, and get a kill, but Diggy gets out alive. That makes it 4v4 on this post plant. Nothing to deny it from going down. Even weaponry, even in numbers, to decide this first map.
The res is not going to be too much value unless an early death. Hunter's Fury available for SVSU, a key ultimate to keep track of as this round progresses. Spec moving forward, sliding in. The defuse is there. FSDD, he's sticking it. The timing, it's there for the Cardinals. A 3v2. Spec continues to push forward. Back on the defuse is Moses. He'll stick it. He's got half. He's gonna keep it going. But it's not enough. And Ashton flies in to grab those last two kills. And SVSU 9-3 to 13 to 11. Oh my word. What a comeback. It was their map pick. We never doubted them at all. We never doubted them at all. Easy.
Never doubt the Cardinals when they're down. I want to know how much time was on the clock when that final kill came in. Flying in through ropes as they decided to stick the defuse. And I thought for a moment when that red banner came up that it had actually been RPI winning overtime there. That was a gutsy, bold move. But hey, you know what? This is why SVSU picked this map. Their attacking side really came out strong.
Yep. And now they get the perfect title for their next YouTube video. So we just came back from a 9-3. Unreal, not
Cursed
scripted.
confirmed.
Cursed isn't real. Yeah, so perfect there for the Cardinals. Great stuff for them and their fans to come back from this, but still plenty of time for RPI and the Engineers to come back into this one. They're moving to their map pick, which will be Ascent. We're going to go to a quick break. Before that, don't go anywhere.
Kabuki to tally it on, and they're proving it isn't just one.
Coming back into Smash, we have Bryce showing a ledge guard of the gods. It took a couple Gordos to nail it, but this clip truly ended in perfection.
Nope, not a footstool inside, unfortunately.
I'm just going to be looking for some sort of an edge guard here now. That Gordo is right in the way, and Bryce going to be able to get the...
Conrad came into this round swinging. They really showed what happens when you combine the skill of a great player and the blessing of the RGX Vandal.
Over-aggression, it worked out so well. I mean, just a double kill already in their favor. Which so far the Sheriff, I mean, has been truly impressive. Unfortunately, he has not been there to follow up. Conrad now looking for the A's, already able to find 3, looking for 2 more. There's the 4th, and it's up to the tail to save the day. Conrad goes in deep. Oh, they're able to find it. Conrad.
Finally, at the #1 spot this week, Frosty lays down the law with a stunning barrage. What a way to tell the enemy to get off my point.
Frosty to move in, unabated, unhindered. Here comes the rocket barrage, and it's lighting up the scene with 4.
Well, that wraps it up for me. This has been another fantastic week of ECAC Top Plays of the Week. As always, follow us on Twitter and catch us live on Twitch at ECAC_esports. You can find us live on Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST or Wednesdays at 7. Thanks again to our partners at Esports U for providing all the additional coverage for us to show you. This has been Rod, the best host of this season. I'm just saying. And I'm signing off.
That's why we're here, right? This is why a lot of people are trying to figure out, how do we replicate what you guys are doing? How do we, how do they do what you guys are doing to a degree, or why are you guys doing what you're doing to a degree? But to kind of, I think, focus in then a little bit more, I want to talk about gameplay a little bit before we jump into business and all of the other stuff. Jensen, this one's for you, right? I want to talk a little bit about this because to someone like me who's traditionally a League of Legends fan and all that, I know that you've been a coach that's been, all over the world. You've worked with a lot of different professional teams and different regions. My question, I think a lot of people want to know, how did you end up at Maryvale, and why a North American collegiate college? What was the draw, or what brought you here? How did you get to this point?
When I first came to NA, I worked with the models, with the academy team, and I realized that there's a lot of cultural challenges that exist that's very unique to NA and esports, right? Where there's this very interesting intersection, because unlike traditional sports, in esports, players, they don't start training under a structure or a system or a coach. From a very early age, which is what happens if you want to pick up any other sport, right? Like you start going to community events or whatsoever, and then you start developing your skills and your literacy of the game from the age of 6 or 7, and you're very used to working in a team environment, a coaching environment. But in esports and for League of Legends, a lot of times players, they go through they go up, they climb the ranks in solo queue where everything is basically self-taught, and then all of a sudden they need to be placed into a team environment. And I realized that this is something that the Asian teams got right, where they had these B teams. They have the B houses in Korea and Taiwan. You would spend almost close to a year just being a understudy or training partner for the team before you even join an academy team in the first place. And in China, they have like these massive B team systems with like lots of players in them. The moment you hit a certain rank on the ladder, they fly you in. You are then boot camping for a month there at the facility, and depending on how well you do, they then decide whether to retain you on as a training partner or as a trainee in whatever capacity, given how well you perform in those scenarios. So the West was very lacking in all of this, and culturally to do the same things and try to replicate the B house environment or what they do in China or Taiwan would not be possible to do. But the West has a very successful model of developing sports and talent, especially in America, when that is in the collegiate space. So I looked at this, I saw the resources that was available, and when Clerky pitched his vision to me, it's like, yeah, this is what I think should be the future for development in the NA ecosystem for esports.
Oh, right on. I think, well, maybe let's follow up on that a little bit then. Because Dan, okay, so Dan, you pick up Jensen, you've got this going. I think that's going to be my question then is, or to any other schools that want to be competitive like you guys on that level, is this something that we should be expecting to see in the future, right? Is this now, the standard that you guys, Jensen, you and Dan, do you guys feel that this, if every college across the nation starts doing this, if they start, recruiting coaches like Jensen and trying to build this atmosphere, is this going to be the next standard, or is this something that's very successful that, obviously it's proven to work, but is it sustainable? Is it possible for everyone, or maybe not everyone, but right, the greater sense of the industry and the ecosystem? How do you guys feel about that?
It's a dream of mine, obviously, to get to a point in the future where every university has an esports team that's taken seriously, and every day they report to practice. It's an improvement-driven mindset across the whole program. I think for me, though, like the reason isn't necessarily like to see like a March Madness with millions of dollars flowing through it. For me, it's a little bit more simpler than that. The reason why this is my vision is just because it's best for player development and just players in general. What we see in tier 2 ecosystems almost across the industry, that's like below academy, I would say, like right before you, I would consider academy professional, because you're making a salary, higher salary than exists in a lot of semi-pro sports actually. But in the tier 2 ecosystem, you kind of go from like your parents' bedroom making no money on a Discord server with a coach that hasn't been certified by any national body, to playing academy, and that's horrifying to me. So while I don't see collegiate as being, or maybe it does end up being this way, but it doesn't have to be the definitive path to pro. I want it to at least be an option, like a parallel option, similar to how you can go through the Canadian hockey system, where you can choose to spend a couple extra years developing and maturing physically and emotionally in the NCAA model before you go to the show in the NHL. I'd like to see that reality in esports. This isn't something where there's a century of history to the competition. So it's a very powerful tool, especially when you're trying to convince your parents that this is a worthwhile pursuit, that you can get a college degree. And it's one of those things where, at least in America, with how expensive college is, getting scholarships after your first, after your 18 to 20-year-old years is usually harder academically.
Welcome back, everyone, here to game number 2 between SVSU and RPI. Just saw a 9-3 comeback in favor of the Cardinals, looking just lost in that first half. They were able to turn it around and pick up that victory on their map pick. Very crucial there. So now we move over to RPI's map selection. That will be Ascent, and it will be RPI starting on the defensive side. Do you see any differences in the compositions? Do you think we'll be getting a duelist, perhaps, for RPI? I mean, it's got to happen. You got to have a jet, something. Because, I mean, it just seemed like the composition last time, they were just struggling to get anything done.
Yeah, maybe. But honestly, when you look at that composition and what RPI brought to the table, they found so much success on the attacking side. And despite not having a duelist and despite having more defensive agency, they didn't have much impact. They didn't have enough impact to close the game on the defensive side. So I think we might see a little bit of a defensive focus coming in. I mean, Diggy's already locked into Killjoy. That's pretty defensive to go up against. The Jet for Moses, so we are going to see a duelist. But RPI locked in with their whole 5. The Omen picked up as well to play the Smokes. That is a very, very decisive composition, I should say. Picked up, locked in within the first 20 seconds of this phase. Meanwhile, Saginaw, fresh off their first win, never doubted the Cardinals. They're still kind of jumping around, seeing exactly what they want to do.
And I mean, they needed that win. They're fighting for playoff hopes here, sitting at 3-3. They need this victory to continue their journey. So it looks like they're going to run with essentially the same composition, just swapping out the Viper for the Omen, giving a little bit more agency to Stitch there. And we know how aggressive he was in that first game. So giving him those TPs, giving him those flashes only makes things more intense, more difficult for RPI. And they're going to be running the Killjoy instead of the Chamber. Definitely its pros and cons, Shakir. I mean, I like the lockdown over towards A and B. I think it has some value, but the Chamber not having it, it's gonna hurt. And they're gonna probably figure that out very early on, I bet.
Yeah, they've swapped the Chamber out for the Jet. Not really 1-for-1. I mean, it's Moses on the Jet this time, but there's a lot of long angles where Chamber really does take advantage. I mean, from Catwalk over to Tiles, you look at that whole mid angle. There's fights there. You can hold a very aggressive angle towards B and TP out if you'd like to. Same thing over towards the A side. Get that A main control, hold it very aggressively. You just have so much disengage when you're Chamber that you can play up in their face, especially on a map as wide open, as big as this one. Not having it, yeah, that's going to hurt them, but I think they've drafted a composition that they're going to obviously have a play style that doesn't need the Chamber to be present there. Meanwhile, on the SVSU side, I think the strengths there, Slade bringing it out, that's exactly what they're going to be relying on. And Stitch on the Omen as well. Same thing as on TJ. So both the Vipers have been swapped out. Let's see what the game plan is here on the attacking side. I mean, this is their map pick. RPI, they're starting on the defensive end. So if they can get the rounds they need here and put themselves in a comfortable position to start executing their plays in the second half, then they should be able to close in a way they weren't able to on Icebox.
Watch where Diggy plays here on this Killjoy. and see where SVSU end up. Obviously, you don't want to push in to that Killjoy utility, especially early on in these first couple of rounds where shield isn't as prevalent, and just in general, squishier. But it's a quick push here for Spec and Jesus taking control of market, and now having pressure towards this B site, but a lot of noise being heard by Moses. And the early contact, Auntie J gets dismembered by Slade, 5v4.
Yeah, now this whole mid pressure has kind of forced them off the site here. They haven't pushed on yet, and that spike was left far behind as the smokes went down. If they wanted to, they could. Could be pushing on to FSD here. The KO. First contact down to 13 HP, and Spec will take them out. And now they split the map in half. They can go to B. There's 2 defenders waiting. Or they can go to A, where the Killjoy is waiting. And here's Diggy. Gonna have to stand this pressure of 4 players rushing them.
The timing, and yeah, that'll happen. Diggy just gets overwhelmed.
Last player
There's a
standing.
lurker here in mid. It's Slade.
30 seconds
Grabs
left.
Moses.
Spike
Mandingo
planted.
has been spotted, corralled, and taken down. Spec with his first kill there. Second, flawless for the Cardinals, and that's what we were expecting, considering how that last game went. The confidence, it just seemed like in the first half, Shakir, they just weren't giving themselves enough respect, not even their opponents. They just weren't even feeling that they could take those fights. But now you see them pushing through mid on pistol rounds. They have a set play for everything, and it seems like now RPI, they're the ones who are gonna have to adapt.
Yeah, and I can't tell if that's confidence, as you mentioned, on the SVSU side, coming fresh off a win, back on the attacking side with the agency, or a lack thereof from RPI. I mean, both of these two teams feel so different than when we saw them in round 1 in our last map. It's kind of incredible to see how much they've evolved just within this series so far.
See the play. Pop flash out of the smoke. Almost working against RPI, that one way that was set up earlier into the round. This is all for info. Already burning a good chunk of utility. Scout going to be used to clear one. We see Slade actually over all the way in spawn, worried about a lurker, worried about a flank. Another smoke will be dropped down by Auntie J. Really just delaying the inevitable. They know that this is going to be a push onto the site. The boombot comes in, not clearing the corners. You got to do your due diligence, my friends. And that's going to be a couple of gun upgrades for RPI.
Yeah, I love that from Auntie J, not taking the boombot because they know that the push is coming in and the crossfire works perfectly. And for a moment, that looked really good for SVSU. Remember, this is their force round here. RPI still not with very much investment, but they've got the numbers now to make this one work. Positions are very aggressive. Look at this from Slade. Doze. And that's 1 kill done. Equalized back to a 3-on-3 here as the spike should come down. They do have the control.
Blinded.
Flash.
Player standing.
Spec. Stitch. Playing around the dot boxes here. Triple. FSTD. Right click. He's got 1 bullet. He's got to reload. The flick for Slade is pure. He secures the round, but again, it's a little dicey. It's a little bit not clean, a little bit dirty. We're looking for some more flawlesses here. I mean, for both sides, secure. The second round has not been favorable for either side, honestly. RPI
not really.
also.
It's been dicey, I think, and if you could just bring that same confidence, that same energy, that same boldness into your gun rounds, then we wouldn't get the 7-round streak we saw in Icebox, the 8-round streak that we saw in Icebox. We would get a more back-and-forth game. That's what I'm hoping here out of these two teams. The bye is not perfect for SVSU, not as winnable, but still workable here. After a really good round 2 from RPI. This should be a round to win for them.
I like the idea here for the Cardinals. Looking at a 3-2 split, they have 2 players posted up in mid, and they're going to work through Cat. They have to assume the alarm bot and the KJ's over towards B at this moment in time. And they're going to play this one slow. Owl Drone will spot it on DJ. A good piece of intel, but Mandingo gets a kill with the shock dart. Bit of protractor action for the Sova. FSDD gets Stitch. A 5v3 in the blink of an eye, Shakir. RPI have a lead. Can they use it?
Yeah, they've mapped up their angles there for that Sova kill. Now look at Slade trying to get behind. They're expecting it. Mandingo is ready, but not ready enough for Slade's Headhunter. Finding the prey, and Moses will have to respond with the trade. There's just 2 left over at main, Camel. And there's a smoke in their way. Not much to execute through. Might have to play contact. And at least damage done with that Stinger. 2 kills.
Wow.
And the spike can go down.
I mean, this is already a win in SVSU's book. 3 kills plus the bomb planted. So much working in the way of the economy. RPI.
Expect this for sure.
Yeah, I know it. Diggy reads it. The play towards hell. He'll get the defuse 1 step closer to that lockdown, which is a very crucial tool for these retakes that are coming into the later rounds. And a team ace there. Everyone getting involved for RPI. And now it's going to be 2-1. We'll see what happens here. Both teams are going to have that full buy. Both teams should be able to invest. And that was just Stinger Def. I mean, good on SVSU's part. Communicating, peeking together, and if you get the trades, just that easy.
See now the Killjoy on Diggy has moved over to that B site after sticking 2 rounds over at A. That turret, unfortunately, did not find much impact in those opening rounds. But Diggy with 2 kills, not far from that lockdown. Sure, we're going to see it on the defensive side. Slow pushes eventually. The 2 kills already for the attacking side for SVSU. If they can make that 4 in the next couple rounds, that would not be a bad way to end the first half. And Spec's already got the open.
Spec is lit a fuse. He's come alive, but Slade
Bulldog
peeks the head for just 1 second too long, and FSTD will claim the kill. But Spec spotted him for a brief moment. There's the pop flash, the swing, the kill. Easy, but from behind, Auntie J stops him in his tracks, leaves things to the 3v3, but the Seekers are going to give a lot of info to SVSU, and they have the paranoia, the Omen teleport to go over towards A. There's no one on that site. Could be an option.
They won't
see what
use
they
it.
end up doing. Yeah, they're not going to do it.
Out of charges.
Maybe once they get that spike down. But what they haven't anticipated is that there is a player at A who's in a perfect place on TJ to stop this. And now they'll hear the noise. That'll be the call for the rotates, as that spike should get down with plenty of room. And Stitches joining as well with that TP.
They're going to back up, and they're going to play over towards Wine. 1 player in hell. Really good setup here for the attack. And that smoke might actually be a benefit to the Cardinals. RPI really taking this one slow. They're going to have the flash from Auntie J. That should be the go button for them, but it's too little, too late. Diggy will fall early into the combat. It's a 3v1. The swing out from Auntie J instantly dismantled. And a wicked push there for SVSU. They fake it to B, and A's the real target. The rotations from this Cardinals offense has been so fluid, and they've really picked it up over the last couple of rounds, and even going back to that game on Icebox.
Yeah, and you get that freedom to go and rotate back and forth like that repeatedly by getting that mid control early in the rounds. I mean, in these first 4 rounds, there hasn't been much of a contest from the RPI side or mid control. I mean, right now they're stacking 3 towards B, 2 towards A. Nobody in mid, so there's an early flash for some contact. But if that push to mid wants to come, they can do it on the SVSU side.
Early scout will be destroyed, but we know Spec, the aggression. Diggy is destroyed. Mandingo will follow. It's a absolute firing squad, a death ball approaching on the B site, and it is a flawless round 4. The Cardinals, Jesus grabs 3. The showstopper is online. And right now, the momentum clearly in the favor of the Cardinals, but this is the round here. Moses has the operator, Shakir. He is the one to watch for. He's going to be going cat, and he's just hoping that someone peeks him, because if they don't beat the op, then it's useless.
Well, that's why you pick a Jet or somebody that can get up in your face and still disengage, is to give him the op to get that 1-shot, 1-kill. But, I mean, if you're SVSU, you have four rounds here. This is probably your minimum, right? You're looking for 4 rounds at a minimum. Anything from here on outwards, I think, is a win. If they get to 6, 7, 8, that's incredible on the attacking side here. He's going to peek this op first. Stitch does get the first kill. They still haven't faced the op.
really far forward. Mandingo is taken down, a little bit flustered there. And the push through from SVSU, but Moses stands his ground, takes the kill on towards one of the initiators. No clear of wine. FSDD, he's going to have such a huge round here. He's going to be able to find one, but he can't find two. Doesn't have the trigger discipline to go for more, and it's a 1v3. Lockdown won't be invested, and RPI should be 1-5. Let's see if Diggy has anything to say about it. He'll take the peek out. Actually going to use the lockdown. He wants this round victory. He wants to force these players off.
I'm sure they know that Ashton is low, 40 HP, but Slade is, before anything can even happen, going to come around and secure it. That is now the second round in this series that I can think of where FSD was gifted a golden opportunity to shut down a play and could not capitalize with that Vandal, with the stationary target, with the headshot. In that position, that's something that you expect to be able to secure. But when you're given so many targets, it can be hard to zero in.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to think about so many things. It seems easy enough. You're looking, at two enemy players that aren't even looking at you, but you want to make sure you find and hit the right target first. If you don't, that can happen. It was only a 1-for-1, should have been more, but now moving into this next round, Diggy sees a ton of players moving in towards this B site. Already Spec taking an aggressive angle outside of CT. Diggy with a good kill, but doesn't matter. The entire site is taken, and it's really just another situation for RPI. They're in this cycle of trying to find guns, trying to find weaponry. They will be able to find one gun, but it's a 3v2. Already time is dwindling, Shakir. It's going to be rough.
But with two guns, you can certainly do damage here. And with how forward they're playing,
Last player standing.
1-2 kills can open up very quickly, but FSD's been taken out, and Auntie J follows shortly after. 6 rounds for SVSU here. One more round, and they'll win the half. And on a map like this, I mean, the attacking sides for SVSU have been incredible. They definitely know what they want to do, how they want to execute. And we haven't seen any mid control, any contesting there, really, from RPI. But now they're going to stack 3 players towards mid. We saw the op come out a couple rounds ago. It had no impact when it mattered. Moses will bring it out again. They need to get that op into some agency. They need to contest for this control. Deny that space, deny those rotates.
Kill there for Mandingo. He'll scrape together 2. Bit of action. He's going to pop the Hunter's Fury. Almost kills his teammate by mistake. Good TP away. Yeah, will almost be responsible for his death.
Assist.
Actually, does at a time. Should get an assist for that. He does. And now Mandingo doesn't give a damn. He's gonna hit his own teammates. He's gonna hit the enemies.
It's an ace if you count the almost TK.
Exactly. So now he's gonna go for the real one. Mandingo.
Go for 6.
Can he find this last player? It's Slade against the world here. Mandingo, he's feeling himself. He knows. Taking his time, gets the ace. Mandingo, dazzling display there from the Sova. Started up at Cat, moves in towards B main. He does it all by himself. Even messes with Auntie J's head. Says, I could kill you, but I'm not going to do it. Great stuff.
And Mandingo with 6 total kills. That just shows you where RPI have been playing here. Only 1 kill before that round. The ace only puts them up to 6. But that's the type of round that fires up the rest of your team. Now everybody's doing with confidence. And even better, they did that off of contesting mid. They brought the op out towards Catwalk. They knew the last time it happened, it got smoked off. They sent Mandingo up to play mid. Mandingo found the impact, and RPI found the round. Not contesting here, but SVSU are a little less likely to push for it now. The impact's still been found, and the op's been spotted here on the A site.
Good jump peek there. Forces Moses to reposition early away from A main. Look at the respect given from RPI, backing all the way into essentially heaven. Auntie J has the paranoia to flash away any unsuspecting player. He'll move forward, confident that he can find a player. He doesn't know how close they are, though. Slow and steady here. Do they suspect Auntie J to be this close? It doesn't seem like they do. They're not really clearing it. He sees a couple of these players. There's the first shot for Auntie J. Looking for the spray. He can't find two. But FSTD, a good response, a good trade. It's a 4v2, and now SVSU in a bit of trouble.
Tough miss. And Slade will capitalize. That's the op out of the equation. A little more level. Slade with only 6 HP, though. What can they do? Not much against the Phantom. This time, FSD doesn't miss. And that's another on the board for RPI. So, yeah, the impact of that ace still felt. Less pressure on the attacking side towards mid. Maybe a little bit out of fear, maybe just out of their game plan, but certainly confidence brewing on the RPI camp.
2 rounds in a row for RPI. Bring this to a 3-6 contest, and that operator still in play. And SV did a good job last time with that early jump peak. We'll see if they're able to find it here, but they're pushing into an op and the Killjoy utility. It is not going to be fun. There's the first shot and the first dash from the Jet. Already forcing the issue is Spec, who takes himself right in to lane, but he's already taken to about 1 HP. He's got to be so careful pushing through. And the take in for Jesus. Diggy doesn't expect it. A Goomba stomping Raze takes the first kill of the round, and now the Cardinals in a great spot to take B.
Spike planted.
Dominant take here. 3 alive in the post plant for RPI. On a 2-round streak, looking for 3, and Auntie J doesn't expect that Spangle from Slade. Gets another with the Vandal, and now looking for the final kill. That's Moses with 2 kills already. Splits this defense.
1 enemy
4-2, and now another isolated duel. That's the headshot, and it's Slade off sights in the 1v1, Camel.
1v1. Pushing forward. Does he suspect the player from stairs? He thought he went lane. It's a 50-50 Shakir, and it's the wrong guess. Moses, unfortunate. Great salvation, though. They're able to bring back, what was it, 3 kills. The operator does fall. That's going to hurt. Not going to be able to get that, and that's a big investment you lose, but I mean, you know, it's better than them having 4 guns and them just continuously cycling the economy and just having so much money that it's impossible to come back into the game. Fortunately, though, for RPI, only 2 rounds remaining in this first half, so should be able to buy this round and the next.
Let's play.
And it looks like it's going to be an 8th hit to start things off for the Cardinals.
SV have already won the half here, 7 kills, or 7 rounds, excuse me. Every round win is just a bonus at this point. Going into defense next to this full A execute has been shut down before. RPI. Here's the contact push out of the smoke. The flashes are in, and there are the kills. 3 in quick succession. SV have taken over this site dominantly. And there's only 2 alive to contest in the post plant.
It's a feisty push from the Cardinals. They don't really care where RPI are. Mandingo going outside of the smoke. The early peek. Slade reads him like a book. And now Diggy again in a 1v5 situation. He's got no utility, no lockdown, and no time. As right now, just the Cardinals. Again, just the aggression, the confidence, Shakir. I think we could say, honestly, that this is more of SVSU playing better than RPI playing worse. I think it's been a total rebound from that first half of Icebox. Something's clicked, something has changed, and that's why they are doing a great job here as these consolation kills go the way of Diggy, but the round goes the way of the Cardinals, 8-3 after 11.
Yeah, I love it. I love the way SV are playing here. They're playing confident, they're playing bold. They're taking space. I think if you control the tempo, I always say this, if you control the tempo, you control the game, and that's exactly what SV have done. But now, with, you know, one final round in this half, they're going to switch over to defense. They didn't look too hot on defense on Icebox. Now they've had 2 attacking sides to kind of get confidence in their veins. They're winning the scoreline here. So what I want to see from them is to continue this agency, right? Is it going to be a continuance of what we've seen from SV so far? Or are they going to follow the route of RPI and slow down to a halt, you know, once they switch over to defense? That'll be the main question here in a round's time.
Absolutely. You can't take your foot off the gas pedal at all. Auntie J squares away for 1. Can he find 2? push back, and this is decent for RPI. The trades are coming in, though, from the Cardinals. Auntie J with this Marshall, so much value. And now it's just up to Slade. The round, I mean, the round is essentially going to be locked. You have lockdown. You have so much here for the engineer. Slade is going to come back over from B. It looks like they suspect this. Diggy is in a good spot. Oh, this might be timing.
Oh, yeah, they're going to spot it out. It'll be a 1v2. We'll see weapon upgrades come in from the RPI side, but oh my goodness. With the buy that they had in this round, right, that was not full weapons. Bulldogs at best. You saw the Marshall for Auntie J get 2 kills. Yeah, just a wow with the period at the end of that sentence. I mean, that hold in itself is incredible for RPI. If they lose, that's going to feel even worse. By the way, they have to secure after putting on a defense like that.
Yeah, I mean, technically, this is still somewhat winnable. Slade has to go now, though. He doesn't have a lot of time. 12 seconds. The peak is there. FSDD on top of it. Right for the jugular. 4-8 in favor of the Cardinals, but a good bit of rounds accumulated for RPI towards the end of that first half to make things a little bit closer. But it's not 3-9. And I think that's what's important.
That's the key.
That's the key. Because
RPI
if it was
were
3-9,
if they were a little worse. Right? I'll say I have given FSD a hard time. I called them out specifically after a couple of rounds here, but getting that final kill, they're leading the scoreboard. Only player on their team in double figures with kills. You know, I've given FSD a hard time, but I do want to say publicly that FSD has also stepped up. You know, they haven't necessarily... They've dropped a couple rounds. Everybody's dropped a couple rounds. They've also stepped up to secure a couple rounds. And that last round had to be a secure. So, 4-8, it's not a curse, but it's still very winnable, and there's 2 opening kills for RPI as well.
And one player extremely low. Omen for the Cardinals at essentially 1 shot. So A will be the target. They realize, yeah, 2 players were capped. We saw that last player in Garden. A should be free. They're going to be correct in their judgment. Will they be mindful of the Stitch flank? Moses might get timing here. And he doesn't. Gets the kill. Now it's a 5v2. Yeah, I mean, great execution there for RPI. They will lose a member in FSDD, but it doesn't seem like there's a possibility unless Slade works a miracle here. He's got 2 kills for himself. A very crucial altercation here, a 1v1 with Ashton as he uses those shock darts to thwart off Moses' position. Back in the 2v3. They know one player's close to Jenny. The pings are coming out. The fly forward with the frenzy. The drop down. The shots are not there. Auntie J, good for 2. Good for the pistol round win. And RPI bouncing back. And like you say, it just takes 1 round. And then you start the momentum building process. And we're going to see a buy up here for RPI.
Did they change something in the game, Camel or Icebox and Ascent? The attacking side is significantly better than the defending side. Did something in the game change recently that I'm just not aware of?
I can look at the code. I can look at the patch notes. I can try my best to give you the information.
Yeah, can we get Prod to check the game code, please? Something's happening here. But yeah, you win the pistol round. You win round 2. Now it's a 6-8 scoreline. You win round 3. Right? Because if this one stays clean, you could win round 3. It's a 7-8 scoreline, and now we're neck and neck, essentially. So, very winnable for RPI off the back of that much-needed pistol round. If it goes the other way, you're looking at a 10-5, 11-5 scoreline. That's a mountain to climb.
Absolutely. Diggy going to be taking his time. For the Cardinals, it's just about limiting the options this offense has, trying to get as many kills as you can. Obviously, the round win would be nice, but you're looking to damage the economy of your opponent. And this is a lot of respect here for RPI, waiting for the right moment to strike. A couple of pop shots there for Slade. Won't find too much luck. Loses half his HP bar in the process. And again, the rotation, they fake it B, they take it A, Shakir, and it's free every single time.
The back of that mid control, nobody was in mid. That rotate was made easy as a result of it. It's hard to contest mid because if you die in mid, you've just gotten information, but it doesn't tell you much. It just tells you it can go to either side. There's the forward position there with the Spectre, and it'll net 2 kills for FSD. Spray was a little iffy, but the final kill did come in. And all in all, they gave up a kill. It's not a flawless, but plenty to go into that next round. They could make it competitive. They could put up a fight here on round 3.
Most definitely. This is going to be a really important round for the Cardinals. Still a Phantom in play. So Mandingo could be the hero of this round. It's going to be important for the Cardinals to keep track of that rifle. Make sure they don't get caught out of position. And again, Shakir, we're in this 3-2 split. RPI have been perfectly content with wasting SV's time, burning their utility. Already a flash gone for Spec. And the smoke as well, forcing the reposition, taking control now. RPI slowly but steady, and they have the null command online as well to take a plant if they so choose.
Yeah, they're going to waste time. SVSU, remember, they need to go and break that 500 line to make playoffs. They either need a win today or they need a win in their final game. They're playing like they want to win here. Contact between Slade and Moses. The spike's gone towards this B side, Camel.
Still a lot of time. Everyone holding down their positions. Nobody making any moves. It has just been completely given up by both sides. And there's the null command. Do they check for Slade? They do not. He grabs 1, grabs 2, make it a 3rd. Looking for 4, overheating. It doesn't matter. It's an absolute annihilation, the avalanche of aggression. And it'll mean an A hit, because right now B is not the target, but Stitch claims that final kill. Jesus adding on to it. FSDD drops. That's what they needed from their main man. Slade comes up 18-9, and he makes them pay.
Incredible by Slade. I guess not flash or what happened there, but 2 headshots and then to swing and get the 3rd. And then for RPI, they didn't have the mid control anymore. They just lost 3 players, so they couldn't confirm that they would have a safe rotate. Of course, they ran towards that A site, which would have been open. But that mid control had been contested. It was not an easy passageway. RPI here, 4 rounds away from a loss. And if they lose, they're up against the wall. They go home. Still have their playoffs alive, though, so it's not all for naught.
Ooh.
And there's the Phantom winning against the tour de force of Diggy.
Yeah, Slade just, he had the TP. He just didn't think he needed to invest it that early on. Didn't expect the fast swing. Jesus, though, in a really good spot. Gives up the position with the paint shells. Boombot as well. Stitch, though,
misses
from Cat. Was able to grab that 1 kill, though. Boombot does go awry, but it's a 4v4 all tied up. RPI now have to recalibrate and figure out where they want to go.
Well, the spike's on the A side, so they might have guessed correctly, but now they're backing away. 55 seconds. It's enough time to rotate, re-aggress towards B if they want to. And now this defense on SVSU, they've kind of leveled out here yet again. 2 players towards mid, 1 on B, 1 on A. And it's a passive hold, but looks like they'll play for this post plant. Excuse me, if that's the goal. That Recon Bolt won't find anything. And that could be the perfect window for RPI to strike.
30 seconds left.
Looking to accelerate the knife, the dart, the smokes come through, and Ashton gets laid out through the smoke. FSDD grabs the kill. And along with that, they're going to grab the B site. This is looking good because you have the lockdown as well, Shakir to play with. It's going to be really difficult for the Cardinals to get back into this site if the lockdown is invested.
RPI, 4 on the post plants. Happy to sit around here. No way in for SV. Flash will go through, but a smoke is blocking Jesus. He'll get the first kill. Mandingo over top, but Auntie J's up close and will push out. Meanwhile, Stitch will get a 3K, and SV with no way in have found the only window, and it's a 4K on the Omen to get to double figures.
You got to think about it. Do you invest the lockdown?
You should have done it.
It's always 2020, but yeah, that is so brutal.
Should have done it.
Oh man, Stitch grabs a 4K, saves the round. Controller player impact kills. You need that. You need that sound controller player on any team, Shakir. If If you have that controller player that's going to pop off every couple of rounds, like Stitch here, you're golden. Because that round really makes things difficult. Because it looks like it's going to be a force buy for RPI. And if they lose the next round, Shakir, they're gonna be shopping at Walmart, shopping at the Salvation Army for a bit. Not gonna be good. 6-10 here after 16 rounds.
Yeah, SVSU, they win here in a 2-0. That's gonna net them big.
Big.
Okay, Moses with the early kill. They're fighting for playoffs with this one. RPI is already qualified. RPI is fighting to go from number 19 in their rankings to number 5, which I'm sure will net them well in the postseason. Just because of the way the season is laid out. A lot of teams tied for 19th. A lot of teams tied for 5th. RPI would love to jump up there with a win here, but it looks like SVSU tournament life, postseason life, might give them a little extra motivation than it is RPI at the moment.
All of this utility. Takes down Diggy. Has this flash waiting a little bit too long, though. Man, Diggy just pushes forward. Spec doesn't take it into consideration, but the spray through the wall. Ashton claims another kill. Both Omen ultimates available. The flank from Stitch. Stealing inside. Has the flash. Takes the space. So the kill, 1 HP on that player. Moses in trouble. The drop down, the spray through. 1, 2, the trade is there. Jesus. It's a 2v1. Auntie J in trouble. There's the tap, the spray through the wall. Stitch holding it. Gets half.
Got half.
Moves back in. And the clutch for Auntie J. What a round for the Omen. Hey, what I said, you need that clutch controller player. You got him on both sides now, Shakir. There's 2 rounds to show you why.
Yeah, you gotta have the clutch controller. 2 rounds back-to-back now, decided by the Omens and Auntie J. Nerves of steel in the 1v2 to secure that one. 7-10 is very winnable. Auntie J up to 15 kills in the contests. But it's not going to be the greatest to buy for SVSU, so I think RPI could be looking for that 8th round. Posturing towards B, early utility being invested. It could be quick.
He does fall.
Don't normally see this.
That'll be a gun upgrade. Ashton, though, gets picked off. He was the lone wolf on B. They will have a gun to take into this retake scenario, but it's going to be pretty rough. The Hunter's Fury invested into the round to really confirm it for the Engineers. Trying to work with what they got, but the flash is coming here from Spec. Do they anticipate it? They're both looking directly at it. It's going to be big. The flash in. Spec can only find a dig with the Stinger. It's not good enough. The spray through the wall. It's a 4v1, and Slade in a whole world of hurt. He'll be revealed. He'll be spotted. He'll be surrounded and attacked on numerous fronts. He'll be able to find 1 kill, but it's over Auntie J. 3K. And he's ballooned up to the top of the leaderboard here. 18, 14, and 6 for the Omen after 18 rounds, and now a very crucial round coming up for the defense. They need this one if they want to stay in this economy-wise.
Yeah, for a moment, my heart kind of paused there in that last round. I got a flashback to about 3 rounds ago when RPI was in the exact same situation. Numbers advantage, spike planted, a lot of utility to work with, and yet somehow SVSU and Stitch had a 4K to win that round. And I thought for a moment that was going to happen again. That was a must-win round for their confidence. They've now put that behind them, and they're pushing quick to this A site.
Here we go. Do they account for Spec? That was last time in hell. Spots multiple players, somehow gets 2, and Stitch
again!
The cleanup crew coming in, 2 kills for Stitch and the Omen. Popping off, clutch controller action. Angels fly forward. Moses tipping out of the engagement. The Boombot, he's revealed, he's spotted. A rumbling of utility. And Ashton takes the kill with the shock dart. 11th round for the Cardinals. And we are going to see a replay of how that retake transpired. Shakir, break it down for me. What'd you see?
Yeah, they went quick into B last time, and it worked so well. They try to do it in A again, but Spec is hiding in Hell. Stitch is hiding there in Garden, and the swings just come out right after they've already taken the site, right after they think they've already cleared the angles. And so they're not necessarily expecting those aggressive looks. That's the confidence that SVSU are playing with right now on the defense. They shut it down very quickly there. And RPI, what should have been a good round for them, the way they executed on that, just doesn't pan out the way they needed to. And now it's a full buy here. SVSU, they win here. It's map series points, and FSD starts them on the right direction, though. The Marshall headshot to open it up, and mid-control given to RPI.
That must have been a crazy shot. I think he popped the showstopper. He might have been in the air. That was a headshot. I don't know, but we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. Great shot there.
See that replay at the end?
For FSDD. Will it lead to anything, though? RPI still stagnant in mid. They're waiting for more intel. You have 3 ultimates, Shakir, on the side of the Cardinals. Still a lot of resources. Yeah, especially in this scenario. We'll see what RPI end up doing. A lot of options, limitless here. They can go mid, they can go A. It looks like they want to take over A, but Spec is lying in wait. Just about dodge away from the Owl drone.
Wow.
Looking towards Wine, the timing. Did they see him? I don't think they did. They're going to push forward. Spec has a great angle on this if he knows it.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, but I don't know if Spec can have impact here on the post plant. That's 1 kill done. Spike not denied. Oh, it actually is. And Stitch in a great spot as well, getting an opening kill. 3v3, so now we're level again in terms of numbers.
Hunter's Fury forces out Diggy. Stitch will take the kill. Auntie J lurking in the shadows of hell. Do they clear it? Don't actually, because the Aldrin doesn't make it in time, but the damage is there for Stitch and Slade. Corresponding kills simultaneously, gifting the round over to themselves, and the Cardinals now on match point here. Their playoff hopes rest on this last round potentially for them, and they've had a great defensive hold. It's been back and forth, but they've been able to limit Moses here on this jet. They've been able to limit FSDD. They haven't been able to go for a lot of these flash dash plays. And now, backs are against the wall, Shakir. Where do you want to see RPI go with this push? You want to see the default? You want to see a fast hit? What do you want to know?
Well, the fast hits have been pretty hit or miss, I should say.
Yeah.
In terms of 2 rounds ago, it worked and they netted B, but it was still a very close round. Last round, or excuse me, 2 rounds ago, they went towards A and it didn't work. I think they have to play exactly like they did in last round. Get the opening pick. But their executes, they have to be a lot cleaner than what they are. Here's the opening swing from Spec. Nobody dies, but that's a lot of info that 2 players are over there towards main. Still 90 seconds to work with. RPI series points on the line here. I should say the series in general on the line.
Everything has come to a stop. Almost soothing, just waiting for somebody to make a play. A couple of shots here for Moses, just trying to research this B site, figure out where these players are. Smokes will go down towards B main. And you're already at 50 seconds. They're still concerned even a player lurked up into logs. That's an early TP as well. That was just checking over towards A main. They're worried about that default Shakir, and this should give them all the information they need.
3 players here towards B. Lockdown comes in, but I don't know how much impact it's going to have because they're ready for it. And that Stitch opening, FSD is done. They're down in numbers, RPI, and now the execute will come in.
And you see where all the players are playing back from. The Seekers are flying in. This is SVSU's round to lose. RPI at a man disadvantage. They have 1 ultimate to be used, but it doesn't really help them in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, we've seen this movie before. Here we go. The push forward is in. Ashton takes the first bit of contact. He'll lose to Diggy. But the kills are flying in through the wall. Spec and Jesus grab 1 each. The last 2 remaining players stuck in Boathouse. The drop in, the shots are there. 1 kill for the Rays. Auntie J in trouble. Hounded, surrounded, and taken down. The fate has been sealed. And playoffs is locked in for SVSU. The Cardinals, after a grueling 13-8 Game 2 win out. We're not even going to see Game 3. What a performance, Shakir.
The question that I had for the Cardinals at halftime was, are we going to see the same team that we saw on the attacking half, on both Icebox, on both Ascent, or are we going to go back to first half Icebox where they played with no confidence and no agency? And they've answered that question tremendously. The way that they've adapted and recovered from how they started the series, to me, is a big enough reason as to why they deserve to have a postseason. And now securing with that 2-0 win against RPI, they're now tied in score with them. They've moved up in the standings, and I think they've done enough now to secure their postseason run. If you're RPI, it hurts, but you've already secured it. You still got one more week of play to better your chances a little bit in the coming weeks.
Right, but definitely want to see these two teams rematch again in the playoffs when it actually matters. That would be an even better game, honestly. I mean, considering that, you know, RPI didn't really have to play for anything, what we got was something special, even though it was only 2 games. And now we're going to try and find an interview with one of these players. Hopefully, they'll be willing to speak with us. But until then, as we search, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, hopefully an interview with one of the SVSU players. Don't go anywhere.
Foregoing that span of time to try to go pro for no pay. And so for me, it's more about like a health of a pipeline, health of the ecosystem, health of kind of the player experience of pursuing this. And that's the big thing for me. And obvious it's a dream. I want Maryville to serve as like a case study and a model for that. We want to show results. We want to eventually be competing to win proving grounds, to show that this can be a functional alternative to the traditional tier 2 within esports, and that's what we strive for every year.
And I can add to that a little bit, just from a business perspective. I think, you know, we're very fortunate to have Jensen and Dan here at Maryville, but I think if you're a university looking at, you know, just adding a coach, you know, maybe not to the magnitude of Jensen, but I think you have to look at the metrics. I think if you look at what the ROI and the business case of adding relevant esports within your university, what that means to your student life and all those different things, all those things that they try to check boxes within higher ed. I think having a relevant esports program or a relevant system within esports, every university should be looking at it, because their baseball players and their basketball players and football players are all playing gaming. And a lot of these esports, you know, figureheads and coaches, etc., you know, are the relevant people in digital media. And it helps the school with a brand perspective. And I think just having any sort of relevant and adding bodies within the esports ecosystem at universities, you have 2 or 3 basketball coaches, you have 2 or 3 soccer coaches, you know, both on male and female. I think having relevancy within esports, it has probably a 15 to 25x, you know, return versus like traditional sports. And I can say that with my background and everything like that, and just knowing how we look at it. But at the same time, if you're not looking at esports as a relevant, you know, not even revenue stream, but relevant digital eyeball within your sports and student life perspective, I think you are sort of behind the times.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year's, everyone, and welcome back to the ECAC Esports channel. As always, my name is Kyler K-Ted Tando, and I once again have the privilege of introducing you all to some of the best collegiate esports plays. Now, I know when we left off last year, I teased a little bit about some big news on the horizon, but that news is finally ready to break. Now, this year, in partnership with CSMG and their newly launched Esports U network, we will now be able to bring you guys double the amount of ECAC matches. So, with double the matches comes double the highlights. And with that said, I mean, obviously, right, do the math here. It means that we get to take this series of videos to a weekly top 8 instead of just the top 4 like we did in the past. But anyways, that's enough out of me. I'm sure you guys are ready for some hype plays and crazy moments. So without further ado, here you go. In our season opening clip, we have Ghost and Nox with the devastating 1-2 combo that just breaks SLU at the knees. Or is it boosters?
Can't fall through. Nice bounce, but a nice goal! Right past the defender. Ox makes it look easy.
I'm so surprised because I couldn't.
At number 7, Rafam pounds his chest and decrees that he is the strongest in the jungle with this sick 3K to flip the point.
The arms and keeps everyone alive through that. Amplification Matrix came through, but we didn't get the same benefit that we saw last time with the Amplified Fire Strike. Instead is Angry Monkey time from the fan with a 3K. Call that the Primal Blade.
As our first Smash play of the year, it's the clean 9 stock from Hydra to lock down New Jersey City's 2-0 win against Husson.
As they go for that kill confirm again, it's not going to connect this time, but there it is, just waiting on the platform for the spike, and JCU cleaning up in their signature style. Hydra leading the charge all the way home.
Next up, it's every shorty player's dream, and what's going to be a nightmare for University at Albany.
Up close and personal. This is the one player who's got a chance with his read. What about timing here? So step forward now into the angle. Certainly good for one. There's the one. No one's reswung. He's reloaded. This never happens to a shorty player. Nebula's up now as well.
In our next clip, who needs teammates when you've got a wall? Grim surely doesn't.
Snaps and passes. They tried their best, and that is an open goal. But unfortunately, out the top, it's going to be the header in. Tit for tat. Grim takes it in on their own.
Ooh, spicy little double tap right there. You saw him looking for it, but that's not an easy read.
Rounding out our top 3, it wouldn't be a highlight video without our first ace of the season. D. Duraco, this one's for you. Enjoy.
Cake out GSB.
A great shot there. Oh, I know deep push coming for an ace. Rocco looking for one of their own. There's going to be a 4K already coming through. Now a 2v1. The hard rotate through. And the kill. Ace. Rocco picking up the ace early and securing a true single-player dominance.
In our runner-up spot, AZ Tropical has a bunch of things to do in this clip. The SD into... Well, he's got a lot. Just take a look.
All right, 2 stocks to 6 for the Fanshawe team. Starting off strong, 45%, 54 uncontested. Let's see what Andy has to offer, because right now he's getting duffed by the Street Fighter.
Ooh, very good option coverage with those up tilts, but you're going to get jabbed once, and there's the uppercut right there, sent straight off the top. AZ Tropical now battling it out on Yoshi's story. It's looking kind of tough.
Welcome everyone here. We have our interview with Stitches from the winning side here in SVSU. And thank you so much for joining us, taking the time out of your very busy schedule, I can only assume, for this interview. First question I got to ask, a couple 9-3 curses here and there. It happens to everyone. We get it. What are the comms, at least for you guys, whoever the IGL is on this roster? Is it a collective effort? What are we saying when we're down 9-3 when things aren't going your way?
Well, in our hearts, we knew there's a reason we picked Icebox. It's our best map. We typically like to think that our defense side is better than our attack, but I mean, they chose attack first, which means they were comfortable with it, but we just knew that, it's our map pick. This is our best map. We knew that we would always win out in the end, no matter what.
Nice. I mean, with this win, and it was not an easy win, but it was a 2-0 nonetheless, you guys have secured yourselves a postseason. What's the emotions going through the team, and what does the rest of the season look like, knowing that there is more to come?
Oh, man, I can't even describe how loud our pop-off was. Like, we were cheering for, 30 seconds to a minute. After we won the first game, oh, man, it got loud. But, just because we made it to playoffs doesn't mean that it's over yet. We're going to keep on practicing, keep on trying our hardest, right? We're not just done with making it to playoffs. We want to try as hard as we can to keep on playing. So.
Absolutely. And to transition it, a serious question to a more laid-back question. Give you this one. Favorite Vandal, favorite Phantom skin. You got one choice the rest of your life on this planet Earth, Stitch. I need to know, what is it going to be?
So definitely for Phantom, you gotta go Champions. I know a lot of people think it's worse than the Vandal, but it's better. Trust me. For Vandal, it's a toss-up. I think I gotta go. I mean, I was repping it today, but definitely the Tree Vandal, Guy's Vengeance. I just want to add an extra side note to this. If you think Reaver's a good skin, you might need to be institutionalized. It's not.
Ooh. What's the colorway for the guy's Vengeance?
Oh,
Vandal?
blue,
Which
blue
color?
all the way.
All right, my man.
Matches my plat buddy quite well.
All right, man. One final question for me. We looked up on Wikipedia and we saw RPI had a school chant in the 1980s. Very mathematical, very long. What's the chant for SVSU? Is there one that you guys are throwing around in the comms while you guys are winning? What's the vibe?
No, I mean we don't have like a chant we throw around. Maybe we should get like a nice SVSU sea shanty going after like round wins to really just keep up team morale. But I mean we just do a SVSU on 3 before every game. Kind of lame. We need to get something better.
Somebody plays Harbor, there has to be a sea shanty. I think that's
me.
a requirement.
If we played Pearl, I would have played them. But
oof. Wow. Well,
very nice.
Great stuff there. Hopefully we do see that Pearl Harbor in the future. Last thing, anyone you want to shout out before we head off?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to my team, SPSU. We're a first-year program. We're killing it so far, I'd like to think. Shout out to the enemies. They played really well. Again, they gave us a fight, so they're a really good team nonetheless. And, of course, shout out just SVSU Esports in general. You can follow us on Instagram with that handle.
Of course. Well, thank you so much, Stitch, for your time. And that will do it here for us at ECAC on Esports U. We thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and we hope you all have a great rest of your night.
Getting dared right in the face. AZ Tropical only 2 stocks away from tying this entire.
And in our #1 spot in the you hate to see it category, what's higher than a high noon? Well, Becomix has the answer.
Trade out Leo Leon here. However, Key Universe making important and inexorable progress. Leo Rafam taking a lot of damage, and it's Becomix finding 3 on the way down! Down goes Duck, and this is looking like an absolute rout for Keen University. Muskingum University just found lacking in points.
Man, after seeing all of that, doesn't that just make you want to say, wow? I mean, for me, I'm definitely speechless and so excited to continue bringing you guys these plays and all of this collegiate esports content. Now, if you want to check out more of the buzz on social media, definitely give us a follow on Twitter at ECAC_esports. Or, if you just want to check out the action live, be sure to tune in on our Twitch channel at ECAC_esports. With that said, I do want to give out a shout out to our partners at Esports U for not only helping to us expand our content, but really also to help bring up all of you guys more of this great collegiate esports action. Now, thank you all so much for watching, and feel free to let me know, what types of matchups or moments you'd like to see next. As always, I've been KTAD, and I'll see you all later. Have a good one. Hey guys, KTAD here, and welcome back to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week video. We're in week number 7, and trust me when I tell you, things have only been heating up. These teams are fighting for a chance to make it into the playoffs, and because of that, I mean, there's so much crazy action to get into, and, don't take my word for it. Let's check out the plays. Starting us off, it's a play that'll have you asking yourself, how did he do that? As Melee juggles and ping-pongs blighted right off the stage.
Immediately, because the projectiles are so ever-present, that reflector right there that you just saw is going to be in the back of Melee's mind throughout this set. But right now, Melee's doing a good job of getting around it, has the percent lead, and make it 64 right now on blighted stock. It's still being worked away at the combo setup.
At number 7, Red Ninja is just cleaning up the West as he gets this nice 3K to cap off the series.
Had a lot of fun with it too.
How does that win?
I don't know.
How does that in any world? How does that possibly win?
Here's what I can say, right? You have Big J5 running around in the back line on Roadhog just trying to cause havoc, right? You have a Symmetra teleporting all over the place. You have
Up next, there might just be a fourth member on the squad of RPI as the corner comes in clutch to take them to game number 5.
It's about as good as you're going to see for a team play off the corner wall, and RPI takes a 3-goal lead.
And with that, we have the fastest goal in this matchup so far. We started off with the quickest goal, the least amount of time.
Okay, spoiler-free intro this time. Someone gets a 4K clutch in this round. You just have to guess who.
I feel like the first time we've seen A side, now it's going to be Wukian with that immediate elimination onto Relay, making it a 5-4, but Opso might be able to, will find the elimination onto Louis, tying things back up. Not for long. Wukian with that operator takes out Safari, a real powerhouse player, has to kiss this round goodbye. UK, they're 3 rounds away, winning their 3rd round and almost tying us back up. What a shot from Wukian there. It is going to be the Blade Storm taken offline by that KO Blade. Even without that Blade Storm, they may be able to win this one. Brown Baller with the 3. Can he find the 4? Jag? No, it's the right click that puts him in. Wukian with a 4K of his own to win Kentucky's.
In our top half, it's Sonics in his attempt to 9-stock NJCU that gives us this next play and this beautiful edge guard.
Things will go swimmingly for themselves as of right now. See Hydra playing at a massive disadvantage, already at 109, but 92 on Sonics. This was where we saw them actually take that stock against them. It was just a small little up B. One hit is all it takes.
No, Rabbit! Rabbit! Oh my! Sonics is too clean with it!
For number 3, Shrusi's got some things to say as he just pops off for Kings.
So much to bear, and well, too much to bear. Shrusi, why take on 1 defenders when you can take on 2, maybe even all of them?
Why get a hat trick when you can get 5 goals instead? 30 seconds to go. Literally every goal of this game has been from Strucy, and you would go to think, oh, obviously he's got a million shots. That's why he's just been putting on the pressure. Not really. He's 5 for 7. He's really accurate with what he's doing here. Not wasting his time because shots like this, they don't come every day. But for Strucy, it's another walk in the park. Give him the time in the air and he will do things like this.
Somebody call it. Somebody call it. This is unfair.
And in second place this week, it's the perfectly timed EMP into self-destruct combo that completely wipes out Wichita State in the opening map against Johnson and Wynn.
Self-destruct is there. Gentalian and Rogue combining for a massive fight win right there. 95%.
And in our number 1 spot, it's a tour de force that some would say is almost excessive from Nagwin as he shuts the door onto Delaware.
On the right side of the kill feed, Nagwen playing C long, doing a great job at it. Oh my goodness, even better! Trying to turn 2 into 3, not able to line it up yet, but there it is. That tour de force is a tour de force to be reckoned with. Nagwen taking out 4 to win the 7th round for UK.
All right, and that is it. Now, I mean, what did I tell you guys? Things are only getting crazier and crazier, and with this wrapping up, that means there's only 1 more of these videos left to make. That means there's only 4 more weeks of playoffs left on the table that's going to be starting up in just a little bit, and I mean, what a crazy